The virus has completely devastated over 150 of the world's major regions and is spreading rapidly. At this point in time, we know of only one method of killing the creatures, or destroy the brain. Be on the guard of any loved ones who may have recently been in any sort of contact with the infected. And if you find yourself in a threatened position, please do not hesitate to act. Again, this is not a test. This is not a joke. We as a species are overwhelmed. We are outnumbered.
With Resident Evil 7 releasing next week, this IP by Capcom has revolutionized the video game culture and spawned a new genre of video games, rightfully named survival horror. In doing so, Resident Evil gave rise to the undead once again and popularized pop culture with the zombie apocalypse. Today we are going to look back at the top 10 zombie games in video game history. Coming in at number 10 is Zombies Ate My Neighbors, a top-down run-and-gun video game developed by no other than LucasArts and originally published by Konami in 1993. Choose between Zack or Julie to attempt to stop the evil mad scientist Dr. Tongue. The game was praised for its graphical style and slapstick humor, originally released on the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, then later released on the Wii Virtual Console. Finding its way to number 9 is The House of the Dead, a first-person light gun rail arcade shooter developed by Sega and released internationally in 1997. Two players were able to assume the roles of agents Thomas Rogan and G while they try to stop another mad scientist named Dr. Kyrian. Many players can remember hearing the faint warnings of "Reload, reload, reload" in arcades all over the country. This game was so popular it spawned 3 more games as of 2005. Whipping its way to number 8 is not a standalone game, but an expansion pack for Red Dead Redemption, appropriately titled Undead Nightmare, released by Rockstar in 2010. A twist in the Wild West, where the main character John Marston is living in an undead nightmare. Jumping its way into number 7 is Dying Light, created by Techland in 2015, which is the same group who gave us the Dead Island series. Dying Light is an open-world, first-person survival horror action-adventure game where the players are planted in the zombie-infested city of Haran. This game kept to the roots of what Dead Island is, keeping the clever weapon creation and allowing the player to test out their new toys on zombies, with a touch of Assassin's Creed by adding parkour into the game mechanics. This new mechanic, however, complemented the day-night cycle. When night falls, zombies became increasingly more powerful and aggressive, giving the players no choice but to run for their life. Chewing its way to number 6 is State of Decay, developed by Undead Labs and released in 2013. A third-person action-adventure sandbox survival game. It offers deep gameplay mechanics with giving the player full responsibility of base building, resource management, and community management. This game boasts 150 characters with various facial features and unique traits which gave them their own strengths and weaknesses, including 100 weapons you can slay zombies with. In addition, if one of the survivors were to die, their death would be permanent. If this wasn't impressive enough, the players were able to interact with outside factions to help, trade, and possibly recruit. State of Decay was extremely popular in Xbox Live Arcade. It was remastered and re-released in 2015. Closing in at number 5 is The Walking Dead Season 1 by Telltale Games, first released in 2012. This game is not the cliché action-adventure but an episodic interactive narrative, taking place in the Walking Dead universe. Decide the path of Lee Everett with your choices, who rescues and cares for a courageous young girl named Clementine. This game focuses primarily on character choices, dialogue, and development. As each event unfolds, the player would experience the heavy burden of choices based on quick-time events which always ended up in an unforeseen consequence. Each choice made was carried to the next episode. This game won Game of the Year by various game publications for its impactful storytelling and cruel emotional tone, which stays true to its comic book and TV show counterparts. This game is guaranteed to leave players with heavy hearts. Swinging its way to number 4 is Dead Rising, developed by Capcom and released in 2006. Dead Rising is a third-person hack-and-slash survival horror game created by no other than Keiji Inafune, who is most popular known for his works in Mega Man and Onimusha. This game had a unique 72-hour time frame where events would occur as time passed by. This game took wacky weapon inventions such as combining a flashlight and jewelry to create a lightsaber and other hilarious weaponry to put in the hands of the player and find comedic and the most ridiculous ways to eliminate zombie hordes. This game consistently received positive reception and is now at its 4th iteration, which released in 2017. Shooting its way to number 3 is Left 4 Dead, created by Valve and released in 2008. This is a 4-player co-op first-person shooter where the group is forced to face and survive hordes and hordes and hordes of zombies. This game was able to keep things fresh by controlling the level pacing and item placement to create a new dynamic experience each time a level is played, increasing its replay value. Despite its popularity, Valve only gave rise to 1 sequel with no word on a third. Closing in at number 2 is a critically acclaimed The Last of Us by Naughty Dog, released in 2013. A third-person shoot-and-cover based video game, The Last of Us can be argued as one of the best video games in history, focusing on all elements of gameplay and storytelling, offering tense firefights with opposing survivors, displaying the cost of human brutality, effectively giving the sense of anxiety and terror during engagements with the cannibalistic creatures. Impactful and powerful storytelling of human relationships between a man, Joel, who has nothing to lose, and a more than capable teenage girl, Ellie, who suffers from the fear of living alone. Witnessing their relationship evolve throughout the game is one of video game's greatest masterpieces of storytelling that has ever been executed. This game dominated and won numerous Game of the Year awards. This game was remastered in 2014, and a sequel is in the works as announced in 2016. Coming in at number 1 is the granddaddy of them all, the originator in zombie horror, the whole entire reason why this video and countless others were able to be done. Resident Evil, developed by Capcom in 1996. The video game community vaguely knew what this game was even about. With B-movie-esque production, players were unknowingly dropped as Chris Redfield or Jill Valentine in the Arklay Mountains of Raccoon City, chased by some rabid dogs into the Spencer Mansion. One of the first sequences the game sets up is more than likely one of the most memorable video game moments of history. The overall success of this game spawned 25 video games, 9 being sequels, with the 10th releasing next week. There you have it, Ghost's top 10 zombie video games. Here are some honorable mentions. What are some of your favorite games? Leave them in the comments below. If you like this video and want to see more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching.